What if I told you there was a secret base in the middle of the Nevada desert where highly classified tests have been taking place for decades? Some believe that it's home to the best-kept secrets about UFOs and alien technology. But what's really there? For some, it's a symbol of the constant development of American power. For others, it is definitive proof that this government has been hiding its greatest secrets well before our eyes for decades. The reasons for this, however, are as nebulous as everything else in Area 51. But what exactly is this area? And why has this remote location become synonymous with government secrets and unexplained phenomena? Over the years, the purpose and operations of Area 51 have evolved in response to national security needs and respective technological advances. But was that all? The story of Area 51 begins in the 1950s, at the height of the Cold War. The U.S. government was looking for ways to gain a strategic advantage over the Soviet Union, especially in the field of aerial espionage. In 1955, the CIA and Lockheed Martin selected a remote area around Dry Groom Lake to test a top-secret project, the U-2 spy aircraft. The location was ideal for this type of operation. Isolated, away from prying eyes and with vast testing grounds, Groom Lake became the epicenter of advanced aircraft development. The U-2 project, capable of flying at much higher altitudes than conventional aircraft of the time, was a success and played a crucial role in spying on the Soviet Union. Over the years, the base grew and became a key point for the U.S. Air Force and the CIA. During the 1960s and 1970s, Area 51 was used to test revolutionary aircraft such as the A-12 Oxguard and the F-117 Nighthawk, one of the world's first stealth planes. However, this intense activity has led to speculation. Sightings of unusual-looking experimental aircraft led to reports of UFOs in the region. As the government denied the existence of the base, this only reinforced the mystery surrounding Area 51. For decades, the U.S. government wouldn't even admit that Area 51 existed. Official maps showed only a blank space where the base was located. This only changed in 2013, when the CIA finally released documents confirming its existence. The files acknowledged that the base was used for the development of spy aircraft, but mentioned nothing about aliens or extraterrestrial technology. Even with the official admission of its existence, Area 51 is still surrounded by mystery. Reports from former employees, leaks and unconfirmed documents fuel theories that the site houses alien technology, reverse-engineered spacecraft and secret experiments. Whether it's just a military test center or the hiding place of humanity's greatest secrets, Area 51 remains one of the most enigmatic places on the planet. What really goes on behind those heavily guarded gates? We may never know the whole truth. Since its creation, Area 51 has been fertile ground for the development of advanced technologies, and, according to some theories, something even more enigmatic. Officially, the base served as a cradle for revolutionary aircraft such as the U-2, tested there in the 1950s for espionage missions during the Cold War. Later, at the height of the arms race, the State Route 71 Blackbird appeared, a reconnaissance jet capable of flying at speeds in excess of Mach 3, which at the time seemed like pure science fiction. In the 1980s, the F-117 Nighthawk, the first operational stealth aircraft, was developed under the utmost secrecy, and many believe it to be just the tip of the iceberg. What else is being tested at Area 51, away from the public eye? The technological evolution recorded at Area 51 defies conventional logic. How was it possible to develop aircraft so far ahead of their time in such a short period? Is the progress of these machines linked to a technology that doesn't belong to our world? Many suspicions rest on the wreckage of the Roswell incident, which took place in July 1947. According to witnesses, an unidentified object crashed in the New Mexico desert, and initial reports explicitly mentioned a flying saucer. However, within a matter of hours, the government changed its version of events, claiming that the material recovered was just an experimental weather balloon. This official narrative, full of contradictions, did not convince everyone. The most persistent theory suggests that the debris, and possibly alien bodies, were transported to Area 51 to be studied away from public scrutiny. But the most intriguing thing is not just the idea of alien spaceships being stored at the base, but what scientists have discovered when analyzing them. If before everything was just speculation, in 1989, a man brought to light an even more alarming version of events. Bob Lazar, who identified himself as a former employee of the secret facility known as S4, located on the outskirts of Area 51, made some shocking statements. Lazar claimed to have worked directly on the study of spaceships of non-terrestrial origin, analyzing their propulsion systems to try to replicate them. According to him, at least 9 alien spaceships were in the possession of the U.S. government, each with technological characteristics never seen before. But the most impressive revelation came with the mention of an exotic material, Element 115. According to Lazar, this element was the key to the functioning of these ships' engines, allowing for a type of anti-gravity propulsion, a technology unimaginable by human standards. For decades, Element 115 was considered pure fantasy, until, in 2003, Russian scientists synthesized a new element in the periodic table, muscovite, Mc, whose atomic number is 115. Although unstable on Earth, some believe that, in its natural state, as supposedly found in spaceships, it would have properties that could revolutionize our understanding of physics. Despite numerous pieces of circumstantial evidence, the U.S. government has never officially confirmed the presence of alien technology at Area 51. On the contrary, any mention of the subject is promptly dismissed, and those who dare to investigate closely encounter serious difficulties. The base is protected by a highly restricted perimeter, and any intruder can be detained or even neutralized without warning. Reports indicate that unmarked vehicles patrol the area 24 hours a day, ready to intercept any attempt to approach. If there is nothing extraordinary about Area 51, why does the government insist on maintaining such strict secrecy? What really goes on behind its impenetrable walls? Area 51 is not only a site of secret experiments, it is also the epicenter of a series of unexplained reports, ranging from strange lights cutting through the desert sky to testimonies from former employees who claim to have seen the impossible. While the U.S. government insists that the base is only used for military tests, local residents, ex-military personnel and even scientists bring up stories that defy reality. But what is really going on in the airspace above and around Area 51? What have these witnesses seen that the government refuses to acknowledge? Reports of unidentified flying objects hovering over Area 51 have been piling up for decades. Since the 1950s, commercial and military pilots have reported strange lights that moved abruptly and at speeds impossible for any conventional aircraft. One of the most notorious cases took place in 1994, when a group of tourists exploring the surroundings of the base filmed a bright object hovering over the Groom Lake Mountains. The object remained motionless for a few moments before shooting upwards at an angle impossible for any known aircraft. The video, analyzed by experts, was never denied by the government. Another case occurred in 2004, when an ex-military man, who preferred to remain anonymous, reported that during night training near the base, he observed a huge, silent triangular object hovering over the desert. The most frightening thing? It made no sound and disappeared within seconds. Were these objects just secret military prototypes, or something much more extraordinary? In 2013, an aerospace engineer identified only as K revealed that in the 1980s, he worked on a top-secret project at Area 51 and saw, with his own eyes, a discoid-shaped spacecraft in an underground hangar. According to him, the ship had no rivets, screws or any kind of visible joints, as if it were made of a single molded material. Another impressive piece of testimony came from a former security officer called David Adair, who said that during his time at the base in the 1970s, he was introduced to an engine that seemed alive, with a structure that reacted to his touch. He described the technology as something completely beyond human engineering capability. Not all ex-employees' stories reached the public. Some, like Robert Frost, a former technician who worked at the base in the 1990s, have revealed that the level of secrecy imposed inside Area 51 is taken to the extreme. Frost said that any employee who witnessed something out of the ordinary had to sign confidentiality agreements, on pain of imprisonment or even worse. He mentioned that, on more than one occasion, he had heard rumors that co-workers had mysteriously disappeared after talking too much. Why are there so many measures to ensure that nothing gets out? What are they hiding so tightly? In 2010, one of the most disturbing events involving Area 51 occurred with a commercial flight that crossed the region's restricted airspace. Flight 549, traveling from Los Angeles to Denver, lost contact with radar for 7 minutes. The pilot, after re-establishing communication, reported that his aircraft was accompanied by a cylindrical metallic object, which moved alongside the plane without emitting any detectable noise or heat. The strangest thing? No military radar picked up the object. Passengers on board also reported an intense white light that illuminated the cabin for a few moments, followed by a sudden loss of altitude. Despite the records of the event, the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, classified the case as a technical error and closed the investigation. The growing number of reports of unexplained lights, silent aircraft and testimonies from former employees suggests that there is much more going on at Area 51 than we are led to believe. Whether it's experimental military technology or something far more extraordinary, one thing is certain: what happens in this part of the Nevada desert is not for the public eye. The government may continue to deny it, but the skies over Area 51 hold secrets that not even the darkness of the desert can hide. In recent years, a series of declassified documents, testimonies from former employees and official statements have brought new pieces to the puzzle. Although many questions remain unanswered, we now know more than ever about this secret base and its activities. But were these revelations made to satisfy the public's curiosity or just to cover up even darker truths? In 2017, one of the most impactful events for the study of unidentified aerial phenomena came to light. The Pentagon admitted that it was secretly investigating UFOs through the ADIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, funded between 2007 and 2012 with a budget of $22 million. Shortly afterwards, in 2020, the U.S. Department of Defense released videos captured by Navy pilots showing flying objects moving at impossible speeds and performing maneuvers that defy the laws of physics. Although the government has avoided using the term alien, they have acknowledged that these objects have no conventional explanation and that their origin remains unknown. Could this be an indication that the technology developed at Area 51 did not come from human hands? Or just another fragment of a controlled revelation? One of the most bombshell revelations about Area 51 came in 2023, when David Grush, a former U.S. intelligence officer, publicly stated that the U.S. government possesses recovered alien spacecraft in a top-secret reverse engineering program. In a statement to Congress, Grush declared that highly selected military personnel and scientists are involved in the study of non-human technologies in secret bases, and Area 51 would be one of the main facilities of this project. According to him, the government has concrete evidence of the existence of extraterrestrial life, but keeps everything under a veil of extreme secrecy, going so far as to threaten and silence those who try to expose the truth. Grush's words have had a global impact, rekindling debates about what is really hidden inside Area 51. Even with all these revelations, many questions remain unanswered. What is the real purpose of the underground facilities that supposedly exist beneath the base? Why do employees and ex-military personnel who dare to talk about what they've seen there report harassment, threats, and even disappearances? If Area 51 has nothing to do with UFOs, why are so many unidentified objects still being sighted flying over the region? Is humanity on the verge of discovering the greatest truth of all time, or is it just being led by a carefully controlled smokescreen? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss the next mysteries revealed. The truth may be closer than we think.